How's it going, Woods and Forests community? I'm finally making my appearance in Wild Vivariums Season 4. We have a really exciting new season to share with you. Primarily, we're going to focus on tree frogs, but I can't wait to take you through all of these new habitats to showcase some of the new pets and reveal a lot of secrets that I've been hiding for the longest time. Let's get on with today's episode. What you're looking at is the 125-gallon Australian forest wild vivarium. This enclosure took quite some time to develop, but look at those ferns and vines that finally filled out the enclosure. This is my take on the ecosystem of Penrith, Australia, and you're taking a look at one of the most critically endangered animals in all of Australia, the green and golden bell frog. This is Atlas. I met Atlas at Josh's Frogs, and I fell in love with these bell frogs as I was walking past. I always wanted to see bell frogs in captivity and even have the chance to keep them. Little did I know they would make one of my wildest dreams come true. I only have males, but I'll tell you this, I've learned to really love and appreciate them for their flighty and nervous behavior, and I can work with that. Look at how beautiful they are. Look at those blue streaks in between those hind legs of Atlas. He's truly an amazing frog who can change just about into any color he wants, from yellow to green to very dark, and even very, very bright. Atlas is usually one of the most observant frogs in this enclosure. He's generally always out, whether he's sitting on top of the enclosure basking, or he's hanging out perched in one of the plants, literally facing me. And it's truly incredible to see, because no other bell frog feels as at home as Atlas. But wouldn't that make sense? He's the original bell frog. And look at this bond we have. I could even hand feed Atlas. There's no other bell frog that trusts me quite like he does. He's not the biggest, but he is the cutest. Here we have the star of the show for the bell frogs. This is Claris. He's significantly larger than Atlas, and they seem to get along time from time. Claris has actually dug a hole into the background, and yes, that's actually where he sleeps and where he lives. It's one of the cutest little things because he thinks he's perfectly safe and at home in that little hole, but we could clearly see him. Claris has a mean streak. He's very dominant. Look at how much thicker he is than Atlas. Not necessarily overweight, but you could tell this frog eats really well. He's positioned himself with the white tree frogs inside the enclosure. He ain't backing down from anybody. And let me tell you, Claris can hold his own. He'll challenge Max, he'll challenge Jeremiah and Spurgeon, and any other bell frog. Claris is definitely the king of this enclosure. He's called in here, and he is one of the apex hunters along with Max. It's really incredible to see how at home he's felt, and look at this, even coming out wide in the open in broad daylight. You could tell these animals not only trust where they are, but feel safe enough that they can make appearances on the forest floor in open spaces. That's particularly not common for a tree frog. Take a look at this. Can you see how many frogs' eye shines are in this picture? How many do you see? Let me know in the comments. It's not just bell frogs inside this enclosure. Take a look at Spurgeon. He's the dominant male whites tree frog. He really didn't appear too much in this episode just because I didn't have a whole lot of opportunities to film him. But he's eating well, he's dominant, he's 10 grams more than this guy, Jeremiah. You guys have really never seen Jeremiah on this channel. He's very nervous and shy, he hates the camera, he doesn't like to be held, he doesn't like to be weighed, he hides. So he's definitely the most nervous of all the animals. But Jeremiah finally broke out of his shell. He let me hand feed him 5 crickets on this night, and look at that frog smile. He was super happy, and ever since I did that with him, I think he trusts me a little bit more, and now I see Jeremiah a little bit more than when I ever did. But he makes his presence known. He's one of the most vocal frogs in this enclosure. It's finally time to talk about Max, who's the apex predator, the dominant animal and one of the faces of this whole channel. But she wasn't really active today. She was actually a lot more relaxed. Check this out, and you can see how comfortable Max looks, how she's just soaking in the water, hanging out, Not really a lot of action shots for this episode, sadly. I apologize for that, but you'll see a lot more of Max this year than you've ever seen her at Wild Vivariums for the episodes. So I'm really looking forward to showcasing Max as well. She's going to be 10 years old this year. Can you guys believe that? A 10-year-old white tree frog. The point of Wild Vivariums for this season is to be happy, be bright, be fun, and be done. So shorter episodes, a little bit more humor in them, but highly educational, highly informational. That's really what I'm aiming to accomplish with Season 4. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share for more Wild Vivariums content. We'll see you in the next one.